Hello, my friends. Happy Monday. Happy first nutrition boot camp of this year. I see some new faces. I see some faces I haven't seen in a while. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. And let's do this. Yeah, let's rock and roll with 2021. So stoked. Okay, my thoughts are all over the place today. So I'm going to share a message of things that are all over the place, but hopefully it will come together in a beautiful way that I don't even know yet, right? It'll be great. It'll be great. So first and foremost, I just wanted to chat about giving ourselves a little grace. I don't know about you guys, but like the beginning of the year is always so exciting, but it's also a little like stressful for me. I don't know if that's the right word, but I just like, I have so many goals and I have so many ambitions and I have like, I want to do it all and like all these things and everything's going to go so perfectly and like all the things are just going to be so fabulous and beautiful. And then like one little thing goes wrong and I'm like, my whole life is thrown out of whack. I don't know if I'm completely alone in this, but seriously, you guys, like seriously. So for example, I realized when I sat down this morning, I still hadn't sent my Christmas present to my coaches, you guys. It's January 4th. And my coaches are like my favorite people on the planet. And I was like, seriously, Bryn? Seriously. So it was one of those, like, I had planned out my day all last night. I time blocked it all out. Everything was going to go great. And then it was like this choice of, all right, do I scrap all my plans that I planned out yesterday and get behind in all those so that I can get ahead on this thing that I'm behind on? Or do I do what I was planning on and get further behind in that? Okay. And you guys, I chose, at the end of the day, what will I feel happy if I do? Fill in the blank, right? And everything that I had written on my to-do list last night was the very normal stuff, like start a load of laundry, unload the dishwasher, take a shower, get ready, whatever, fold the laundry, whatever, the normal stuff. And it was like, at the end of the day, will I feel happy if I do those things? Yeah, I will. Like, it'll make me feel like I was a good mom, a good wife, a good whatever. But at the end of the day, will I be like really mad at myself if I don't accomplish this thing that's like been on my to-do list for 3 weeks now, and I just like totally spaced because they were just sitting in a spot in my office that I apparently don't look at very often? Yeah, I'll feel like a total failure if I don't accomplish that. So I just decided, you know what? Scrap all the plans that we had. This is more important right now. Okay. And Blake and I, my husband, were having a conversation last night, and I don't know if all of you are mamas on here, but we were having a conversation last night about how we don't really love how much my son is on his iPad during nap time. And the girls are both asleep typically. He just got back from school, so it's not like he's been on the TV, the iPad all day. Yes, dude. That's fine. Thank you. But we just had this conversation of like, we don't really love how he is just the second his sister falls asleep, he comes out and he like, okay, I get to be on the iPad for the next hour and a half to 2 hours while mom does some work stuff. And so this was yesterday we had this conversation. Okay. So we decided today, like, all right, that's not going to happen. We'll set a timer for 30 minutes. I'll get to do something for 30 minutes to be productive. He'll do his iPad, whatever time. And then he and I will play together. And then I'll do a little bit more work stuff like this. And then he can just play and it'll be fine. And you guys, like, I don't know. It's Satan. Let's just put it right there and out there. It's just Satan in my head. But all day long, it's been like, what kind of mom are you that you've like let your kid watch the iPad for the last however long? Like, it really took Blake to like make you wake up to this. Like, you know that you're a terrible mom because you were letting him watch the iPad for an hour and a half every day, almost every day. And it was like, excuse me, like, and I would love to say that these mean thoughts are just like gone and I just like poof out of my head. No, they're not gone. They're still there. And you know what? I don't know what to do about it. And I'm like in that loop of, I recognize that this is a thing, and I know that something needs to change to fix it, but I just want to make sure you guys, that if you struggle with mean thoughts, with limiting beliefs, with that mean girl in your head, whatever it is, you're not alone, for one, okay? And especially when you have big goals like hello 2021, I feel like those mean voices rear so much louder. And all the things that you want to accomplish and all the things that you want to do, there's like little reasons that pop up and like, oh, see, this is why you haven't done it before. Oh, see, this is why you can't do it. Oh, see, this is why you'll never be able to do it, or you're never enough, right? So I really feel like the first thing to do is to recognize it for what it is, that I have learned for myself. Like I said, I still haven't like overcome it, bada bing, bada boom, magic wand, right? But I recognize the trend. I recognize the pattern of the adversary. And this is what is it that I'm about to accomplish, dear Satan, that you don't want me to accomplish? Okay. And I know that sounds like weird and backwards, but they're like legit in my life. There have been so many points that I could spend the whole nutrition boot camp call talking about, like when I was about to do this thing that changed my life, the adversary made me think this and this and this, and I almost backed down. When I was about to do this thing, that was totally going to change my life and have a huge impact in my life, the adversary perked up, reared his ugly head, and I almost changed my mind. And guess what? I didn't at the very last second. And guess what? It totally went on to change my life, right? So I just want to help you realize and recognize when you are stepping outside of your comfort zone, it is uncomfortable. Congratulations, right? Congratulations. Kate, do you want to give her some more? Will you please give her some more? But seriously, when you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, it is uncomfortable. And for me, my whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, right? My comfort zone has been, this is our schedule. This is our pattern. This is what we do every day. This is how we live life. This is when I work. This is when I don't. This is when I play. And whatever. I've thrown a wrench in that now. And okay, no, I want to make more time to play with my son while my girls are asleep. I want to make more time to be present with him and have him watch this less. And you know what? He likes his time. So he's not just like, okay, mom, great, I would love to play with you. Like, that's just not, like, he's a very typical 4-year-old boy. He's like, excuse me, what? Like, no, I want to watch my iPad. I don't want to play with you, mom. And so I've had like friction that way, right? And it would be so much easier for me to just like, okay, fine, whatever, just watch your iPad. I didn't want to play with you either, right? But that's not true. That's not true, right? So when we set these goals, when we have these instances where we feel like that pressure of, I need to change something needs to change. And when we go to make the change, expect some friction, expect some pushback, because that means you're on the right track. It really does. And it doesn't feel like it because our whatever, mean girl, Satan, I don't know, whoever it is, somebody tells us that it should be easy. Says it should be easy because we're doing the right thing. We're making good change. I felt this was right yesterday, so why is it so hard today? Okay? Expect that and see that as a sign, truly, that you're on the right track. And this is with everything in your life. This is with any time you step outside of your comfort zone. You start a new program, a new workout program, and you're like, I was so excited yesterday. Why was this so hard today to push play or to get through it? Why was I interrupted 400 million times? Right? Or I'm going to start this new adventure and I'm going to go back to school, or I'm going to become a XYZ role that I've always wanted to be and have been too scared to, but guess what? I'm jumping and I'm diving in. And one minute you're excited and the next minute you're terrified. And the next minute you're like, never mind. I'm getting too much pushback. I'm getting too much negativity, thoughts, all the weirdness. Never mind. I'm just going to go back and live in my comfort zone. Right? Don't give in. Okay. When you're ready to make those big changes, expect the hardship and dig in, embrace them. And then you will become a completely different person and you will hurdle those obstacles. One of my favorite quotes that I had never heard it before. It's in Shift Shop. I'm pretty sure it is Chris Downing, or maybe it was a team call he did. I know it was Chris Downing, the guy who created Shift Shop, but he talked about when you get to a hurdle, don't just run into it, right? Like when you hit that wall, please stop swiveling my chair. Thank you. I love you. So many of trainers that I'd heard, like, push yourself to the limit, push yourself to the wall, hit that wall, whatever, hit that wall. And he was like, no, don't hit the wall, hurdle it. Hit the wall and climb over it. Go to where you thought you couldn't go any further and then boom, clear it, surpass it, go way crazy, right? And we have no idea how much potential we have inside of us until we hit that wall and then recognize, I still got something left in me. I really do. I really have something left. And all I got to do is keep trying and keep pushing. And what if I do one more? What if I do one more? What if I do one more? Okay. I want to read this message from Laura in the chat. She said, yes, it's especially hard for me when it has to do with kids and my parenting choices. The mindset call this morning was so helpful with some of those limiting beliefs. Amen. We got to listen to a call from this guy named Brad Bizjack this morning, and it was very good. It was very helpful. When it comes to finding that untapped potential and climbing over that wall, I've had a new and interesting experience because I've been, long story short, weight loss journey, whatever. I had my son, lose the weight. Okay, great. I did it. Oh, great. Now I'm pregnant. I had my daughter. Okay, great. Lose the weight. Oh, wait, I didn't do it, but I'm pregnant. Okay, great. Third child. I had my daughter. I lost the weight. Okay, I did it. And I'm not pregnant. And so now it's this and I don't want to be pregnant anytime soon. I would like to not be pregnant for a little bit because I had all three of them so close back to back to back to back. But now it's like this, well, I already hit my goal weight. I already hit my pre-pregnancy weight. So now what? What do I do now? And I just had this recurring thought, you've hit that wall, now clear it. You hit your goal, but what if you keep going? What if you just keep sticking to your nutrition program and see? I mean, this is what you know your body to like, this spot that you're in, because you've been at this spot for so many years of your life. And there's only one time in my life that I've gotten lower than where I am now. But that was when I had a personal trainer and I was obsessed with counting my calories and I had an eating disorder, okay? I wasn't anorexic, I wasn't bulimic, but it was I was very obsessed with counting my calories and I would fast way more than I should have. And I stayed away from all social engagements because I knew that I would not stick to my goals if I went to anything. So I was a hermit and I didn't go anywhere. And if I did go anywhere, I binged like crazy. And I just had this terrible. So it was more disordered eating than eating disorder. But I had a very, very bad relationship with food. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, well, I can't go to that place again because that means that I'll get disordered eating again. And when I hit that wall, it was like, no, hurdle it. You have learned so many more new great habits. What if you just keep doing what you've been doing to help you lose 47 pounds in 2020? What if you just keep going and just see if your body does want to get back to that place? What if you just see? Okay. So truly, I just want to encourage you, no matter what your goals are this year in 2021, to expect confrontation, expect the, right? This is harder than I thought it would be. And hit that wall and give yourself permission to hurdle it. Give yourself permission to soar and to fly. And give yourself permission. This is one of my very favorite affirmations ever. And it comes from Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly. No, it does not. It comes from Brene Brown's book, The Gifts of Imperfection. But she essentially, the whole book is about living a wholehearted life. And she says in that book multiple times, no matter what, at the end of the day, whatever is left on my to-do list, I am enough. I am enough. Even if I have 1.5 million things left on my to-do list. Okay. And the affirmation is, let me think about it in my brain. Now that I'm trying to say it on the spot, it's like, it won't come to me. I am so happy and grateful now that I live a wholehearted life. I recognize that no matter what gets done and how much is left undone, I am enough. I am so happy and grateful that it's not coming out of my mouth, the second part. Let me find it. Let me find it because it's important. I wouldn't look for it if it wasn't important. Affirmations. I'm looking at my app. Think up. Okay, here it is. Because I engage in my life from a place of worthiness, I have the courage, compassion, and connection to wake up in the morning and think, no matter what gets done and how much is left undone, I am enough. Because I go to bed at night thinking, stop. Thank you. Because I go to bed at night thinking, yes, I am imperfect and vulnerable and sometimes afraid, but that doesn't change the truth that I am also brave and worthy of love and belonging. I live a wholehearted life. Okay. And I heard on that call that Laura was referencing earlier, instead of having a to-do list every day and looking over it at the end of the day thinking, I sucked, I'm not enough, whatever, I will never, all the things, right? Having a ta-da list. Ta-da! And I was like, I love that. I love that. And instead, writing down, okay, I didn't get everything down on my to-do list, but look what I did do. Look what I did do, okay? And I could totally make a whole list of all the things that I didn't get to today. But there were a lot of things that I did do today that weren't on my list, but that felt good. And that I am happy that were accomplished. Okay. Holland, I want to share something with my friends. Will you go get Grammy's book in my closet? Please. Okay. I think it's up high on actually, I think it's on Mom's bookshelf. Will you go see if you can find Grammy's book? In my room. Sorry, I just had this random thought that I want to share this with you. So while he grabs that, I'm going to read some stuff in the chat real quick. Steph said, yes, I read in a book that water rushing down a hill does this. It doesn't just stop because a rock or a boulder is in the way. It just rushes down a new path, but still heading toward its goal. I love that. I love that. Yes, you are fabulous. You are fabulous. Thank you, sir. Okay. And I actually read this in my most recent podcast episode, but I want to read it here too, because I feel like it is so good. Okay. My mom wrote this poem, and in all the perspectives of things that we've been chatting about today and of things that matter most, making sure that you expect the unexpected and still push for what you want, but keeping this in mind. Okay. Ready? It's called Monuments by my mom, Cheryl Layton Knowlton. Shh. I like to look at monuments and wonder what was done by the person standing there and what great honors won. What made your life so great? I ask the silent, tranquil granite. Whose life improved? Whom did you touch while you were on the planet? I've often wished that I could do something just half as wise, that someone might then make of me a monument that size. But then I stop myself mid-thought and begin to realize I do have my own monuments before my very eyes. More than one of them have I. They live within my walls. My children are my monuments. Their laughter fills our halls. A parent's touch is all they need. My love for them I'll show, to lead and guide them while they're young, to help them as they grow. I'll take the time to play with them, although there's lots to do. For if I do my chores instead, I never will get through. And for all the tasks I do, it seems to come back in their places. Sorry, I gotta turn the page. Besides, I'd rather see the look of you upon their faces. I have such precious little time while I can be their guard, to teach and train and mold and shape until they will be hard. For children harden with their age, as statues always do. Before you know, their attitudes are bonded just like glue. Today, I'll find some time to play where I thought I had none. We'll sing and dance and laugh a while until the day is done. And so I may not ever have a monument of stone. I'd rather have a monument of real life flesh and bone. I love that. I love that so much. And one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard is the greatest legacy you can ever leave is going to be found in the mindset of your children. And I think when all is said and done, at the end of the day, what did your children see you do? Did they see you hit that wall and cave? Did they see you run into that barrier and give up and quit? Did they see you hurdle it and overcome these hard things? And did you talk to them? I think there's so much power in, hey kiddos, I'm stressed today because I have this really big goal that I'm pushing for, or this thing that I really want to do. And it can be as big as I really want to start working out every day. And that's really hard for mommy because she's not used to doing that. So will you be my cheerleader? Will you help me work out? And while I work out, will you sit here by me and XYZ fill in the blank, right? And you can have this conversation with a 2-year-old. You can have this conversation with a 5-year-old. You can have this conversation with anybody older than that. Obviously, your verbiage will sound a little different, right? But teach them what matters to you. Teach them the goals that you have and talk to them about adversity and overcoming it. You don't have to go through these struggles alone, right? You don't just have to sit in the hardship and, okay, whatever, I'm just going to throw in the towel. It's too hard, right? Like, 1, that's why we have this community. 2, that's why you have a coach to talk about the hardships with. And 3, that's why you have your family and your support system. And when you let them know your goals, when you let them in on your desires, it will surprise you how much they really do want you to succeed, especially if you let them in. Okay. Ashley said, I love this poem in your podcast. Yes. And Laura, it's by my mom. My mom wrote that one. So good. So yes, Kendra, it is so good. So yeah, super good. Super, super good. Okay. That's all I had to say today, my friends. But when it comes back to, there's a couple things I still want to share real quick. When it comes to those moments when you're like, I'm just going to throw in the towel. I just feel like it's not even worth it. It's not worth the struggle. First, center yourself. If you're someone who believes in God or a higher power, meditate, say a prayer, ask for help, whatever. Okay. That always helps me when I'm feeling those like, whatever, I'm just going to quit. It's not even worth it. Right? Center yourself first. Say no to other people who are asking you to do things that are not in alignment with your ultimate goals. Say yes to the people who are in your life that are in alignment with your ultimate goals. And don't say not right now. Say yes. Mom, do you want to play? Yes, I do. And I can finish doing the dishes in 15 minutes. Or I can finish doing this thing in 15 minutes after I play with you for a little bit. And then you'll get bored of me, right? When you are feeling those life stresses, recognize them for who they are. Recognize that you are doing something great. Okay. Laura asked if I could post the words somewhere. Yes, I did a post about it. It was a while ago. If you look on Instagram, I'll put it in my email today. I'll put it in my email today for my newsletter. Cool. So yeah, if you're in my customer base, you'll get that. And if I'm not your coach, then you can just message me and ask for it, or ask your coach who is connected to me for it. That would be awesome. Cool. Okay. All right, my friends on the recording, I love you. I believe in you. You can do hard things. Hit that wall and surpass everything you ever thought possible. Okay. Just keep going, one foot in front of the other. And remember that no matter what gets done at the end of the day, you are enough. Okay. Okay. Recording friends, I love you. See you later.